might put a dent in government plans to return to surplus?
Now, the budget will be returned to surplus in 2012-13 as promised. As a government, we've always made the decisions necessary, some of them very tough ones, but the decisions necessary to find the resources to support communities in need, and we'll keep taking that approach.
Have there been warnings about not just infrastructure, but obviously the farm country, the cattle country, the fruit growing country around Griffith that's all been affected, and what impact that will have?
Yeah, we've been talking about some of those issues as we've moved around. The issues with stranded livestock, for example, which are being worked on right now. Once again, we don't have full accounting yet, but floodwater is very damaging. I mean, the economic cost of floods is higher than other forms of natural disasters because it does knock around our primary producers, it knocks around small businesses, and it does a lot of damage to infrastructure. We won't know the full toll yet. Even the farmers involved probably can't tell you the full toll for themselves yet. But that cost, I imagine, will be considerable, and we'll get further details in the weeks and months ahead.
We are hearing estimates of at least $1 billion in damage to the riverine alone. Does that give you pause for thought?
Oh, look, I know from my experience around the country, floodwaters are incredibly damaging. They do a lot of damage to infrastructure, to roads, to other forms of infrastructure. We know that in economic terms, floods do more damage than other natural disasters. Now, other natural disasters, bushfires, etc., can often be much more threatening in terms of loss of life. But floods do the most economic damage. But we cannot know what the economic damage is yet. It's just not possible.
Prime Minister, Prime News Wagga, you've seen Wagga at its worst. When are you coming back to Wagga to talk about some of the issues, non-flood issues we want to talk about?
Well, I'm be happy to come back. I'll talk to your local member about that and see what we can do to come back in the future. I always think it's important to be able to get out on the ground when a community's facing this kind of stress and strain, just to be able to say thank you to the people who have helped out, but also so I've got a very clear picture in my mind of what it's meant for that community. And seeing it from the air does give you a very clear picture of damage done and the number of homes that are inundated with water.
Can you describe for us some of the sites you can see?
Well, the view from the air shows you the homes that have still got water up to the eaves. It shows you the pattern of it, so there are neighbours who will be in quite different positions. Some have got floodwaters right through their homes, some on just that little bit of higher ground have got floodwaters on their land but not in their homes, so neighbours who are going to be in a very different position. From the air too, you can get a sense of what it's been like to move the number of people that needed to be moved. I mean, fortunately, the CBD is getting back to normal now. It's a lot different than it would have been, but it was the right thing to do the evacuation. If that levee had been breached, if the water had gone in, it would have risen very, very quickly. So it was the right thing to do to ask people to get out, in fact to tell people to get out, so that they weren't in those circumstances.